Every time that you snap at your kids, you lose it with the woman you're in a relationship with, or let pressure dictate your decisions, my friend, it has nothing to do with any of them and everything to do with you. That's not leadership. That's reacting to your own stuff, your own trauma, your own things that you have not healed and worked on. What's up, everybody? This is Cletus, Coffey. Hey, welcome to the Be the Torch podcast. Super pumped to have this conversation because, yes, I'm talking to men, but you know what? This could go for everybody. But men, we have a different approach to things. We handle things a bit differently, and oftentimes we have not tapped into a part of us that would really give us the tools to help stop the reactivity we have that oftentimes burns bridges, loses trust, disconnects us in our relationships, whether in the office or at home, and we're left feeling like, what the heck happened? And then we start blaming everybody else. So we're going to get out of that world today, and we're going to get into how do you handle this? Because no one has ever taught us this. There is no playbook in the man world on how to manage this, how to tap into what the heck am I really feeling right now? And what is going on? Because deep down, I know you feel that you don't want to be doing this. You don't want to be the guy that's yelling and screaming at your kids and you know, losing your mind on the woman you're dating, to being that leader in the office who is demeaning, belittling, name calling, sarcastic with your employees. Like, yeah, I know you don't want to be that guy. If you do, this is not the podcast for you. But for those of you that don't want to be that guy, here's the thing. I get that world. See, I've been in reaction mode. And I in all fairness, we're all different. And I didn't handle things with the yelling, the screaming, the belittling, the name calling, the abusive type world. I didn't know how to handle that. I was trying to be the nice guy. And so what I would do is I would just shut down and I would avoid the conversations. I would avoid the issues at hand so that I didn't boil over and lose it in any type of way. Same difference though. It's the same effect was happening. I was creating the distrust, disconnection by being that avoidant and just not having that conversation. And so what we want to do is we want to recognize that, look, we're human. And for a lot of us, we weren't shown this as an example, nor were ever taught or trained on how to best handle that. And so it's just these repeating cycles that continue to come up, and we feel a lot of guilt afterwards. We feel a lot of shame. And then now we're living in the lowest frequency in the human experience is shame and guilt. That doesn't feel good. And that just continues to layer on the challenge and the trauma because we have not addressed actually what we're feeling in this moment. So that's why I built a process called the torch treatment. So I'm going to take you through here on the podcast, on YouTube here with all of you, wherever you're consuming this. And I'm going to take you through a step-by-step recalibration. It's a tool to help guys like you to be able to connect with what's going on so that you don't let your reactivity and your emotions create an outcome that you don't really want. So if you're on video, you can see this. On the podcast, I'm going to verbally share with you to give it a visual. But essentially, when an event happens, and I'm just holding up my hand up, and my left hand is up, and when that event happens, before we respond, and so what I'm doing is I've got two hands up, and there's just a little bit of space in between my hands, almost like I'm gonna clap, right? So I'm about to clap, but there's a little space in between. What you do in that space is going to determine your outcome. So an event happens, before you respond, there's a little gap. And the thing about it, brother, is that gap is like, boom, it's a flash. What you do in that gap, mind the gap, right? If you know that phrase, you got to be mindful of it. We can't just not think about it, not be prepared, or not know how to handle what is about to go on that gap. Because again, what we do in that gap is going to dictate the outcomes that we are going to get. So I'm going to take you through a process that I created called the torch treatment with what to do in that gap. Why is this important? Well, because you can react just based off emotions, and I get it. You might be in a heated conversation. Someone may have wronged you, and you're feeling embarrassed, you're feeling resentful, you're feeling ashamed, you're feeling upset, frustrated. All those emotions, secondary emotions are floating around, and you are just reacting based on the way you've always reacted, the way that you saw maybe your dad respond, or how your coach or your boss or someone who you mentored or how they used to respond. That's just a paradigm that's been formed, brother, over time. And I'm willing to bet that that's not you. So we want to tap into you. Who are you? So that's where the torch treatment comes in. Now, I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps of the torch treatment. Now, before I go any further, I want to let you know, I know I'm just communicating this on the episode here. If you want access to the torch treatment, by all means, I'm more than happy to, no strings attached. I will just get the torch treatment over to you. So if you just DM me on Instagram at Cletus Coffey and just let me know you want the torch treatment, then I will send it over to you. And I want to help you, my friend. So here's what we're going to do. The 7 steps of the torch treatment. Now, when do we use this? When you feel yourself reacting in a way that's most likely going to cause damage in the situation that you're in. Maybe it's, again, in your relationship at home with the woman that you're married to or relationship with. Maybe it's with your kids or with your employees, with a customer. Before you respond from that old archaic place, let's get you caught up in the modern times. And most importantly, modern meaning to you, who you really are. And I get it, you may not have gone through that process, and that's what the whole Be the Torch program is for. But at least this is going to help you create a process where you can have some control over the situation so that you can get outcomes that you're looking for. I'm willing to bet that if you're in a relationship, obviously you want to be in, you love that person, you're not trying to hurt them, or you're not trying to lose customers, you're not trying to lose employees. Oftentimes what happens when you have an individual who doesn't know how to calibrate themselves and responds from old archaic patterning. Okay, so here we go. The 7 steps. Step number 1 is the spark. There is a spot of ignition, that spark, that trigger that happens. And it's about stopping and pausing and recognizing what was the trigger. What was that moment? Was it what someone said about you? Was it what someone did? Was it a result that you got? What was the trigger in that moment? And the cool thing about this is it develops a level of awareness, and you start to see some patterns over time, which is, oh gosh, I tend to react to these triggers in this way, or these feelings begin to bubble up. So we want to make sure that we start to bring awareness to what those triggers are. And can't tell you, man, because I know it, because I used to get triggered in my relationships with my co-parents, the women that I work with, parenting our children, which I'm grateful to be in a great position with them. Yet it wasn't always that way, and I would get triggered by them, and I didn't understand why. And so I had to go through this process to calibrate myself to ensure that I get the outcomes I want, which is I want an amicable working relationship with my co-parents. So what was that trigger? Number 2 stage is the flare. What that flare up that you have. So there's a trigger and then something that flares you up. Own that flare. So you're going to spot the trigger and then you're going to own what's coming up for you or how you responded. So if it already happened, you did the blow up and now you're doing this treatment on that, then by all means it happened. Or if you're finding yourself wanting to respond in a certain way, own it. You're human, dude. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel guilty about, gosh, I'm ready to tear this person's head off. Just own it. Own what is coming up for you. Now, step number 3 is the fuel. And we want to name the belief that is fueling this trigger, this feeling behind it, the flare that's come up. We want to name the belief that's fueling that. What is that belief? Is it that you are not wanted, that you're not good enough, that you are not a good leader? Is it the belief that you are not a present father? Whatever comes up for you, just name the belief, the feeling that's coming up. Name it. What is it? This is where most dudes they never get to this spot. They don't know how to name that feeling that comes up. Okay? So that belief, that feeling that comes up, name it. Because that's what's fueling this fire that's trying to burn the house down. We don't want to burn the house down. We want to build your fire. We don't want to burn anything down. No relationships, not the business, not your customers, not the house. So after you name that feeling, that belief that's fueling this, we go to the burn. And the burn is facing the cost. What is this costing me? By me feeling this way, by this belief, what is that costing me? And then what you do is you go to the ember, which is step number 5. And the ember is to extract the lesson in it. Because all of these scenarios that cause these triggers that get you all excited, there's lessons hidden in there. And for most of us, we don't even know how to name the feeling to let alone extract the lesson out of it. So each argument that you're getting into, each business setback or failure, relationship failure, divorce, arguments, those type of things, there's a lesson in there for you to extract for yourself. Not a lesson that you need to tell someone else about them. This is about you. This whole treatment is you, not anybody else. And then number 6 is the blaze. We want to choose a new response. There's a new fire. Instead of that fire that's burning shit down, we are going to develop a fire that allows you to stand in your true, authentic self, a man of power. So we're going to choose a new fire, and this is the blaze stage. We want to set you ablaze in such a powerful way. So in this stage, we want to choose a new empowered response. Decide who you want to be in this moment, and then replace that old pattern with your chosen blaze, the chosen path that you are going to blaze, if you will. So, think to yourself, okay, what new path am I going to blaze now? And who do I choose to become in this moment? So this is a powerful, powerful step. We're reframing it from I'm this guy that's burning things down to I'm gonna blaze a new path. This is who I desire to be. And then the last and step number 6 is to ignite. Now we're going to ignite a new action. So we want to lock in this shift by taking action. So take immediate action aligned with this new choice that you have embodied. Take a new action. This doesn't happen to be some grandiose shift, any big action. It could just be small, but it has to be something that is intentional and done right now. You hear that? It needs to be done right now. Don't put it off. Don't jot the note in your phone. Do it now, because we're training you. We're training your brain to do something different. When this event happens, before we respond, we're going to do this work in this gap. And when you do this, not only, well, first and foremost, this is going to serve you tremendously. Stress, anxiety, anger, those things are going to start to subside. And the byproduct of that is the people around you are going to notice it. They're going to appreciate that. They're going to love the shift that you're making because it's going to serve them. It's going to help them. So step number 6 is ignite a new action. Get in movement and do it right now. And so now we've done this. We've anchored step number 7 to step number 1. So when a trigger happens and we set a new blaze, we're anchoring with something new. And so the idea of spark, what's the trigger? The flare, owning that spike. Okay, name it. Name what that is. The shutdown, the sarcasm. You were being super sarcastic with the woman that you love, you want to be in a relationship with, and you're being the sarcastic jerk. Own that stuff. Or maybe you were like me and you withdrew. You avoided the conversation, not being honest about what was really going on for you. So what was it that sparked you? Own that spike. Then expose the belief. Dig down into what was the fuel. Identify the story, the belief, the assumption that was driving this reaction. Burn it, man. Burn it, getting clear on what is the cost. If I continue to do this, what is the cost that's ultimately going to burn this down? So it could be your relationship. I mean, that's huge. It could be a customer. Man, it could just be your time. Maybe you're wasting your time doing this. Your energy. The cost to you is your energy sucks. Now you're coming from a place of shame and guilt and anger. Man, no one wants to live in that world. So what is the cost if you continue to have this belief and these feelings? Then the ember, we want to extract the truth. What is the lesson? So after you have identified and taken ownership, there's a lesson for you to learn. Then the blaze, you're creating a new path, and you're anchoring it with action. So my friend, like this is a process that very few human beings do, but mainly men. Men don't understand this and really have a trouble with working through something like this. But I tell you, it's interesting. I'll bring it back to a sports scenario. I, as an athlete, anytime there was something going on with my body, I got physical therapy. I got treatment on my body because something was off, something was hurting, there was a cause and effect based on a particular way my hips were. It was causing issues in my back, or for example, my Achilles. I had issues with my Achilles for such a long time, and there was lack of strength in my calves. So I went and got treatment. And yet we don't do treatment on our body, on our minds, on our emotions, about who we are as beings, as human beings. That's what this process is for. So if you DM me at Cletus Coffey, I will send you the torch treatment. Just let me know you want the torch treatment. I would be more than happy, because I want more dudes being able to stop, pause, connect with themselves so that they're not responding in ways that's burning shit down that doesn't need to be burned down. It's just you getting to know you taking ownership and responsibility, and you charting a new path, you burning or blazing, I should say, a new path from a place of power. And look, this may be a little wonky in the beginning because you're going to be trying to remember, okay, hold on. This is the spark. Okay. Then I got the flare, then I got the fuel and the burn. You're going to be working through some of those things. And then it's going to become second nature. You're going to recognize a trigger. You're going to do a treatment in that moment. And your woman, your employees, your kids, your customers are going to love you for this. They are going to be so grateful. They're going to see a shift in you, and they're going to be like, what is going on? Understand that you can do this in 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big, long process. Just boom, get it, breathe, center yourself, and then go through this process. And then that way, you're reframing it. You can take action on maybe some damage that was done, owning that, or learning a lesson and better prepared for the next time that you're in that particular situation. So this is a win for you. We are focusing on a win. You go through this process, that's a win for you. So instead of feeling shame and guilt and chaos, you walk away from this triggering moment from a place of power, presence, and feeling much better about yourself. So this is just one tool, my friends, and this is to reframe, recalibrate, build up your business, build up your leadership skills as a man, as a business owner, as a father, as a partner, or someone looking for a new partner. This is all inside the Be the Torch and the Be the Torch Academy. So if this resonates with you and this is something that you want to learn more about, by all means, man, let's just jump on a call. If you go to at CletusCoffey.com/book a call, let's just jump on a call and we can help find out which path we can blaze together. That's a right path for you. So go to CletusCoffey.com/book a call and let's get together. So my friends, thank you very much. Off into your day. Get the torch treatment before the next time something triggers you and you respond in a way that is burning shit down versus you setting yourself ablaze from a place of power and presence. All right, brother.